So recently I got a medical checkup and I didn't get all the tests done. I'm still in the middle of the tests because there's some tests I needed to go back for and all. I'm still thinking about that. But yes, how often do you do medical checkups? For me, I normally like doing them once a year, and especially the beginning of the year. And why do I do these medical checkups? I would first like to say that I am not a doctor. I am a normal person. And I don't mean that doctors are not normal. I think doctors have superpowers. If you ask me, I don't have any superpowers. I'm just here to tell you what I have experienced. So one of the reasons that why we should do these medical checkups is age. The older we get, the more vulnerable we get to some of these diseases and all. For me, I'd tell you, I like to just reduce the risk of getting sick. Yeah, so that if they find something, in me, they can be able to advise me what to do or put me in a program that will help me to just get rid of whatever it is before it puts me down. And finally for me is to basically reduce the health costs, because over time, if there is a complication that was caught not early enough, you get to spend a lot of money. It becomes very expensive. It's like your life just depends on medicine. Of course, I appreciate the fact that not everyone is able to do these tests, but anytime that you visit a doctor or your doctor, there's this procedural things that they do, like they take your temperature, they take your pressure. Maybe you can add in one more thing, like maybe blood sugar. You can insist for them to take that test. It might just cost you just a little bit, but you see, it's something that you get it out of the way. It's important for you to know how your body is doing, and if you can add one more test to it, that's okay. It becomes manageable, I think. Took was the BMI. What is BMI? Is body mass index. Yeah, they check your weight, they check your height, and then fasting blood sugar. You don't take anything before they do this test. Yeah, if you do the test they prefer doing the test in the morning, so that means your last meal will be dinner. So you don't take anything before you do this test. Urinalysis, of course, they check if there are any infections, and then stool, microscopy, the same thing. Complete blood count, lipid profile, uric acid. I mean, I'm telling you, your health depends on your lifestyle, actually. Then there is pap smear, of course, for the ladies. They get to check your cells and see if there's any cervical cancer or just inflammation or infection. Then then the breast ultrasound, mammogram. Then you also get flu vaccine. I was able to get flu vaccine in December when I traveled to the US. It didn't cause any reaction to me. I think it's very important. The body is able to fight it when you get flu. It's not going to prevent you from getting flu, no. It's just going to help your body to deal with the symptoms better.
Body temperature iko sawa 36.7, 1877, heart rate of 86 beats per minute.
Okay.
96% iko sawa, and a heart rate of 87 beats per minute iko sawa kabisa.
So for you, we did two kinds of tumor markers, yeah? So one is called CEA, or carcinoembryonic antigen.
Yeah.
This is a tumor marker used in colon cancer, but only 70 to 80% of colon cancers make CEA. Meaning sometimes somebody might have colon cancer, but when you do this test, it's still negative. A pap smear is a test that we use to screen for cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is caused majorly by a virus called HPV. We can check for HPV, but that is not the purpose of the pap smear. The purpose of the pap smear is to screen for any changes, early changes that HPV does to the cells that will eventually get or transform into cancer.
Okay.
Yes, so it's good to use this as screening, because usually by the time you get symptoms of cervical cancer, it's usually too late. So by the time you're having like a foul-smelling discharge, you're having bleeding between your periods, or abnormal bleeding, by the time you're getting all those, it means that there's a mass on your cervix, which is too late. So the pathologist took the sample, they were able to stain it, and then now they checked whether there was any change. They did not see anything, so that's why they said negative for intraepithelial lesion or malignancy. So there's no precancer or cancer. At the same time, I had mentioned they would also check for infection. So they checked and there was no inflammation. Other things that they checked for was whether you're having a yeast infection or any other fungal infection, and then they also checked for any changes caused by herpes or any parasites that may be causing a disease in your cervix, but they did not see anything. So essentially your pap smear is normal. Yes.
Please briefly just tell us why it's important to do these checkups, and I mean, how frequent should we have the checkups? Should we do the checkups?
Okay, so it's very important to do this medical test, because unfortunately in our country we have what we call bad health seeking behavior. You don't come to hospital unless you are immobilized, So, and for some of these things, it's better and it's easier to manage if we find them early. Some of these things don't have treatment, so if we find them early, we can do some things to either reduce or slow down the progress, or even cure it completely. So, and we do encourage people to do it every year. And the older you get, the more frequent you need to get it done.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome.
So that's it for me today. I hope you have learned something, and I hope after this you are going to book your medical checkup, or at least do a test or two to just get to see what your body is like. Just love on yourself. This is one of my self-cares. I'm telling you, my self-cares is just to do a medical checkup for my body, and just to know this is what it is.